Good morning and Jai Hind, dear students. Welcome back to chemistry class. Children, today we are going to complete the explanation of this chapter, that is air around us. So in the previous class, if you remember, we were talking about the importance of air. So we were talking about how air supports life, isn't it? Then we have talked about oxygen. So why and how oxygen is important for survival. So we know that each and every individual, all the living organisms inhale oxygen. Okay, this oxygen enters inside our lungs, and then the several metabolism or the several metabolic process takes place inside our body, and hence the energy is generated. Okay, so oxygen is very essential for any human to survive. Even apart from human, plants also require oxygen. So if we have seen that if there is a water logging is what? When there is excess amount of water in the soil. Okay, जब बहुत ज्यादा पानी हो जाए soil में, जब एकदम पानी पानी से कीचड़ जैसा बन जाता है, then what happens? Even the oxygen present in the soil is also, or the organism, those who are present inside the soil are not able to breathe. Okay, and they come out, like for example earthworm. So in case of water logging, agar kabhi water logging ho jati hai, to earthworm, they are not able to survive inside the soil, and hence they come out. Okay, wo soil se bahar aa jate hain. Same goes with plants. At times what happens, if excess amount of water is given to the plant dies. Or even like we have certain plants like mangrove plants whose roots are present outside. They are not submerged inside the soil. They are present outside the soil so that they can breathe. And mangrove plants basically is present near the waterlogged area, the place where there is excess of water. There the mangrove trees are present. Okay, and these mangrove trees have root outside the soil or outside the water. Okay, this we have seen. Then we have also seen about the aquatic animals. So aquatic animals like fishes, they have gills. Okay, so through their gills they respire and they take the oxygen from water. Okay, so oxygen is present in water, oxygen is present in soil, oxygen is definitely present in the atmosphere. Okay, so all the living organism that survive requires oxygen in any way or the other. So the aquatic animal that lives in water take the oxygen from the water. Is it clear to everyone? I think. Now if we talk about plants, definitely. So plants have one structure that is called stomata, which is present underneath the leaf. Leaf के नीचे present होता है stomata. Okay, this stomata helps in inhaling and exhaling of gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay, in some plants which are submerged in water, they have stomata above the surface. Or there is one plant जिसकी leaves एकदम submerged होती है inside the water like water lily or a tape grass जिसमें stomata होता ही नहीं है. Okay, so today we are going to talk about the importance of nitrogen, carbon dioxide, how they are important for survival, and we will also see the oxygen cycle and uses of air and role of atmosphere. So today children, I'll try to complete the explanation of this chapter. So let's quickly go to the chapter, what is written there. So we were talking about air supports life. So we have talked about oxygen. So oxygen requires to breathe for respiration. I should think children you are clear with about the two terms, that is breathing and respiration. So I have already explained it to you. So I'm not going into detail of this. Now we have left here. So plants have a small opening called stomata. On the undersides of leaf. So children, as you can see, this is a leaf, and underside the leaf they have stomata. So this is the structure of stomata. It gets open and closed. Okay, stomata gets open and closed. As it gets open, it takes the oxygen, and as it gets closed, it releases out the oxygen. It releases out the carbon dioxide. Okay, so it is acting as a lung, like we have lung, so leaves have stomata. So they are present underside the leaves, through which air is taken in. इसके through हम air को intake करते, plants intake the air. Plants that float in water, ऐसे कुछ plants होते हैं जो पानी के ऊपर तैरते हैं. Okay, they have the stomata above the leaf. Okay, they have the stomata upper side of the leaf. For example, we have water lily. So in water lily, the stomata is present above the surface. Okay, there are certain plants that are present underwater, like tape grass. So they don't have any stomata. Now if they don't have stomata, how will they breathe? How will they take the air? So they take the air. Definitely they will take the oxygen from the water that is inside the water, but the surface of its body will take or will dissolve or take the oxygen or air, and the surface of body will exhale it out. Okay, there is no stomata, but the surface of body will act as the act as a lung, we can say. Okay, so underwater plants like tape grass have no stomata. Children, this is important. They breathe in oxygen, dissolve in water through their body surface. So breathe in through the body surface. Okay, now let's talk about nitrogen. How and why nitrogen is important? Children, we know that nitrogen is present in abundance in the atmosphere. Yes, so 78% of the atmosphere consists of nitrogen. This we know. Okay, but the strange thing here is that neither we nor plants take nitrogen in its own form. Okay, I'll explain it to you. Just a second. So children, you know, in atmosphere, nitrogen is present in the form of N2. Nitrogen is present in the form of N2, that is N triple bond N. This you will study later in later classes. So एटमॉस्फेयर में नाइट्रोजन N2 के फॉर्म में प्रेजेंट होता है, but neither we take nitrogen as N2 nor the plant take oxygen like N2. Okay, so then what happens? This nitrogen gets converted into either nitrate or nitrite, and then it is converted into ammonia and is submerged inside the soil. तो soil में क्या होता है? If this is a soil, इसमें नाइट्रोजन, नाइट्रेट और नाइट्राइट के फॉर्म में पाया जाता है. Where there are several bacteria also present in the soil that do this conversion. Okay, then the plant take nitrate and nitrite as from the soil, and also ammonia from the soil. Okay, and then they survive. Clear? So children, nitrogen is not taken in its original form. It is once converted and then it is taken either by the humans, animals or plants. Okay, so let's see what is written here. Nitrogen is required by plants for their growth, and nitrogen is very important for the growth. Okay, but plants are not able to absorb the nitrogen directly from the air. They cannot absorb the nitrogen directly from the air. So nitrogen in the air is brought to earth in the form of nitric acid. नाइट्रिक एसिड के फॉर्म में नाइट्रोजन अर्थ पे आता है. Okay, there we convert into nitrate compounds which is absorbed by plants. Nitrate के compound में convert हो जाता है which is present in the soil basically, and then this nitrate which contains nitrogen is taken up by the plants. Okay, nitrogen is, children, also used in fertilizers. Fertilizers क्या होता है? Fertilizers are some extra organic substance that are given to the plant for their strength and a good growth. जैसे हमारी बॉडी में सारे मिनरल्स, सारी चीजें ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट होती हैं, लेकिन फिर भी हम कुछ मल्टीविटामिन टैबलेट लेते हैं, हम दूध पीते हैं फॉर कैल्शियम, वी टेक कैल्शियम टैबलेट्स दैट आर एडिंग एज अ additional nutrient to maintain the balance of the body. In the same way, fertilizers are added to the plant to maintain its balance, कि किसी चीज की कमी ना हो, ना नाइट्रोजन की, ना फॉस्फोरस की, ना कैल्शियम की कमी ना हो प्लांट में. So fertilizers are given. So fertilizers, the main component of fertilizer is also nitrogen. खाद बोलते हैं हम इसको हिंदी में. तो जो पेड़ों में खाद पड़ती है, the maximum content is nitrogen. Okay, so nitrogen in the air is used by us to manufacture fertilizers. These fertilizers again provide essential nitrogen to plants. Okay, now why and how carbon dioxide is important? Definitely carbon dioxide is important, children, because we exhale out carbon dioxide. Animals exhale out carbon dioxide, plants exhale out carbon dioxide, and where will this carbon dioxide will go? So it is present in the atmosphere. Okay, but if excess amount of carbon dioxide is there, then it may cause the rise in temperature, hence can cause global warming. So this we will study in higher classes. So for now, you need to know that we exhale carbon dioxide, plants exhale carbon dioxide, and it is present in the atmosphere. And carbon dioxide is utilized by plants during the process of photosynthesis. Okay, during the preparation of food, carbon dioxide is used. So carbon dioxide is very important gas for plants and animals. Plants use carbon dioxide for preparing food, which in turn gives food to the entire living world. So carbon dioxide is also very important. Now children, coming on to the oxygen cycle. What is oxygen cycle? Or in fact, what is any cycle if we talk about? So children, we know that we inhale oxygen, isn't it? We inhale oxygen. और हमें पता है कि population बहुत ज़्यादा है. Specifically, if we talk about India, तो population क्या है? Population is very high, isn't it? And every individual is taking oxygen. Every individual is taking oxygen. लेकिन फिर भी एटमॉस्फेयर में ऑक्सीजन लेवल मेंटेन्ड है. Isn't it strange कि सब लोग ऑक्सीजन इनहेल कर रहे हैं, लेकिन तब भी एटमॉस्फेयर में ऑक्सीजन प्रेजेंट है. ऐसा कैसे? तो अगर कुछ लोग, if humans and animals are inhaling oxygen, then there are something which is giving oxygen to us, and that is plants. So plants gives us oxygen, that we know. Plants gives us oxygen and we inhale it. Okay, so this is a complete cycle that, let's see. So if this is a plant, so plant gives out oxygen. This oxygen is taken by millions of humans Okay, clear? So they take the oxygen, then they give out carbon dioxide. They give out carbon dioxide. Plants take carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Plants take carbon dioxide for photosynthesis and generate oxygen. Okay, so this is a complete cycle which is called oxygen cycle. Okay, this is called oxygen cycle. Why it is called oxygen cycle? क्योंकि क्या हो रहा है, प्लांट ऑक्सीजन दे रहा है, ह्यूमंस ले रहे हैं, ह्यूमन कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड दे रहे हैं, प्लांट उसको यूज कर रहा है फॉर द प्रोसेस ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस, एंड ड्यूरिंग द प्रोसेस ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस ऑक्सीजन इज released. So this complete is a type of a cycle. So it is called oxygen cycle. Children, I think it is clear to you. Let's see what is written in the book. So oxygen cycle. You have seen that oxygen gets removed from the air during respiration and burning. Burning के time भी we require oxygen. Okay. So same thing is written here. This is because oxygen is added to air during the process of photosynthesis. Okay. So plant uses oxygen for respiration during the day as well as at the night. Though plant also use oxygen both the time day and night, लेकिन जब वो फोटोसिंथेसिस की प्रोसेस करते हैं डे में, तो जो अमाउंट ऑफ ऑक्सीजन रिलीज हो रहा है वो बहुत ज्यादा होता है एज कंपेयर टू द ऑक्सीजन दैट दे आर taking. Okay, hence we say that there is a net release of oxygen during the photosynthesis. This I have already explained to you children in the previous class, that during the day and night in both cases plants take oxygen, but the amount of oxygen they take during day is less as compared to the oxygen that they release during the process of photosynthesis. Okay, तो क्या हुआ, अगर हम ले थोड़ा रहे हैं और दे ज्यादा रहे हैं तो नेट गेन क्या हुआ, देने वाले का ज्यादा हुआ. Like for example, if someone is giving you 10 rupees, आपको किसी ने 10 rupees दिया, आपने उसको 40 rupees रिटर्न किया. So what is the net gain? और किसका नेट गेन हुआ, आपके फ्रेंड का नेट गेन हुआ of 30 rupees. Isn't it? In the same way, the oxygen taken during the day is less, but the oxygen given out by the process of photosynthesis is very large. So the net is oxygen is released. Okay. So there is net release of oxygen. So this natural cycle of consumption of oxygen by respiration and burning and its release by photosynthesis is called oxygen cycle. Clear? So this is called oxygen cycle and it is also very important. Now children, coming on to the uses of air. Where these airs are used. Now very interesting. So children, this windmill we have most of the time made it with the paper. So we have seen that जब हम उस I don't know what you call it in Hindi, but I used to call it like firangi. Okay, so when I used to take that firangi with the breeze of the air, then what used to happen? It starts to rotate very fast. जितनी तेज air चलेगी उतनी तेज वो घूमता है. ठीक है? In the same way, there is a windmill. So with the flow of air, with the breeze of the air, this windmill rotates. Okay, ये घूमते हैं. And when they rotate, they are connected with the motor. They are further connected with the motor. So the windmills are used to draw water from the tube wells and run floor mills. So basically windmills are used in the process of removing the water or drawing the water from the mills. Okay, it is now being used widely to generate electricity. Nowadays, children, windmill are used to generate electricity. होता क्या है? Windmill है, उसमें blades लगे होते हैं like this. There are 3 blades. इसको हम blades बोलते हैं. जैसे air की flow होती है, this blades start to rotate. और जब ये rotate होती है, there is motor connected to this windmill. So this motor, it starts to generate electricity, and from this motor various turbines rotate and various electrical appliances are starts to work and electricity is produced. So this, children, you will study in your higher classes again. So the thing that you need to know is wind makes windmill rotate. First thing. Second, definitely aeroplanes, helicopters, balloons, parachutes, yachts, they all work because of air. ठीक है, जितनी भी एयर फ्लाइज, जितनी भी चीजें एयर में होती हैं, वो हेलीकॉप्टर हो, इधर एरोप्लेन, so they fly because of the presence of air. Similarly, animals like birds, insects, bat, they fly in the presence of air. Air helps in dispersal of seed. Dispersal of seed का मतलब क्या होता है कि अगर ये एक फ्लावर है और ये दूसरा फ्लावर है, so we have studied in bio that कि for reproduction pollen grain needs to be transferred. So हवा चलेगी तो क्या होगा कि pollen grain एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाके ट्रांसफर हो जाएगा and there will be growth or reproduction process takes place or pollination will takes place. And dispersal of seed is that seed will be spreaded with the blow of air. Okay, so this is called dispersal of seed and it helps in pollination of several flowers. Air is also takes place very important role in the water cycle. How it is important for a water cycle? What is water cycle? Water cycle is basically ये water है, ठीक है, सन की लाइट पड़ती है तो क्या होता है, वाटर हीट हो जाता है एंड इट स्टार्ट्स टू इवेपोरेट. अब ये जो इवेपोरेट हो रहा है ये कहाँ पे हो रहा है, एयर में हो रहा है. ओके, एंड दिस बिकम्स क्लाउड. ओके, एंड अगेन इट रेन्स. सो दिस इज अ कंप्लीट वाटर साइकिल. तो ये सब चीजें कहाँ हो रही है, क्लाउड कहाँ बन रहा है, ये वेपर कहाँ रिलीज हो रहा है, ये सब कुछ एयर में हो रहा है. So air also plays very important role in water cycle. I hope it is clear, children. These are very simple. That is why I am going a quick, like a little faster. Now, children, coming on to the role of atmosphere. Atmosphere का क्या role है? First thing we know that what is atmosphere? Atmosphere is a blanket around the earth. So it protects the earth from harmful rays. First very important thing, it protects the earth from harmful rays. Second is, it helps in weather change. Weather change में ये कैसे help करता है? क्या होता है? As the sun shines, okay, as the sun shines, the air becomes hot. एयर भी क्या होता है, गर्म हो जाता है. तो जब एयर गर्म हो जा रहा है तो वो क्या करेगा कि जो ठंडी एयर है, द कोल्ड एयर, इट विल रिप्लेस इट. गर्म हवा आ गई, ठंडी एयर चली गई. ओके, सिमिलरली in the same way the opposite thing happens, the vice versa happens. Okay, and through this process the air starts or the air flow takes place. So in the morning, in the daytime, what happens, the sun increases the temperature, तो air hot हो जाती है. Okay, but atmosphere does not allow the earth to heat up. वो क्या करता है, सन की रेस को अर्थ पे आने से प्रोटेक्ट करता है. ठीक है, तो ऐसा नहीं होता है कि दिन के टाइम में अर्थ एकदम से गर्म हो जा रहा है और रात के टाइम में एकदम ठंडा हो जा रहा है. तो इस चीज को प्रिवेंट करता है एयर और एटमॉस्फेयर. सो लेट्स सी व्हाट इज रिटन. First very important thing is the atmosphere causes weather change. So when the sun shines brightly, it heats the earth. Okay, the air also gets heated. Air garam ho jati hai. Hot air rises and cold air rushes to take its place. गर्म हवा आ जाएगी और ठंडी हवा चली जाएगी. This is how wind blows. Okay. Now, blowing of a storm and cyclone is also due to the movement of air. The water vapor in the air is responsible for rainfall and snowfall. So, जो rain water vapor present है atmosphere में, that is also present in the air और उसकी वजह से rainfall और snowfall होता है. Thus, atmosphere is responsible for weather change. ठीक है. एटमॉस्फेयर है तो बारिश हो रही है, एटमॉस्फेयर है तो गर्मी आ रही है, एटमॉस्फेयर है तो ठंडी हवा चल रही है. एंड इट चेंजेस द टेम्परेचर. सो अगर गर्मी और गर्म हवा चल रही है तो इट इज समर, ठंडी हवा चल रही है तो इट इज विंटर, और वाटर वेपर है तो इट इज रेनी सीजन. सो इट चेंजेस द weather. It also maintains the right temperature of the earth. How? The same thing that I have told you, that the heat and light of the sun falls on the earth's atmosphere. Some of it is absorbed by the atmosphere while the rest reflects back. So you can see in the diagram here, sun की रेज आ रही है, कुछ तो अर्थ पे आती हैं और कुछ क्या होती हैं, रिफ्लेक्ट बैक हो जाती हैं. ठीक है, it is because of the atmosphere. So this prevents the earth from becoming very hot during the day. क्योंकि लाइट रिफ्लेक्ट हो जा रही है एटमॉस्फेयर की वजह से, तो दिन के टाइम में बहुत गर्मी नहीं होती है. एंड सेम गोज एट द नाइट. रात में भी क्या होता है कि बिकॉज अर्थ हैज बिकम हॉट इन द मॉर्निंग, तो वो अपनी हीट रिलीज करता है टू मेंटेन द टेम्परेचर एट नाइट. ठीक है, सो दैट इज व्हाई अर्थ acts as a blanket around the earth. Atmosphere acts as a blanket around the earth and it protects the earth. Okay. Now children, above the earth we also have an ozone layer. This ozone layer is very important. So if this is an earth, above the earth and above the atmosphere we have ozone layer. Now this ozone layer protects the earth from ultraviolet rays. Now what is ultraviolet rays? Ultraviolet rays are children very harmful rays, which if you get exposed to these rays, you can even get a cancer or you can have certain eye defect or a skin defect. Okay. Now sun releases this UV rays. सन क्या करता है, ये यूवी रेस को रिलीज करता है और ओजोन लेयर इस यूवी रेस को हमारे पास आने से रोकता है. ओके, सो इट प्रोटेक्ट्स अस फ्रॉम द ultraviolet rays. Now the detail about it you will study in your higher classes children, and this is very important. So this is ozone layer. It prevents harmful rays from the sun from reaching the earth. These rays are called ultraviolet rays, can cause eye problem, skin problem. Okay, so this is ozone layer. Now what is pollution? Pollution क्या होता है, गंदगी होती है. जब कोई अनवांटेड सब्सटेंस एयर में आ जाए, ऐसी चीजें जो हमें पसंद ना हो, जैसे कि गंदे गंदे डस्ट पार्टिकल, स्मोक, या जब गाड़ी के पीछे से ब्लैक ब्लैक स्मोक निकलता है. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर अनवांटेड. वी डोंट वांट इट. What we want a pure and a fresh air. But अगर कोई अनवांटेड चीज आ जा रही है, so that is called pollutant. ठीक है, the undesirable substance are called pollutant. So what can be undesirable substance? It can be minute solid particles, जैसे कि dust के particles हो गए या sand के particles हो गए. So they are not good. Dust, again, smoke, and harmful gases such as carbon monoxide, oxides of sulfur, nitrogen, given off by combustion of जो गाड़ियों से बहुत सारे harmful gases निकलते हैं. So all these are pollutants. ठीक है, तो जो substance pollution cause करते हैं उनको हम pollutant कहते हैं. Now how we can prevent it and why air pollution? Air pollution is children very dangerous. It causes several diseases in humans and animals like respiratory diseases, asthma, then bronchitis and cough. So this is very harmful. How we can prevent it? By planting more trees, by reusing and recycling the garbage instead of burning it. So this children we will discuss in the next class, that is on Monday. So or sorry, on Tuesday. So in next Tuesday we'll discuss these points. And children, today I am going to send you the answers of oral question, and I'll also send you the choose the most appropriate answer and very short answer question. Okay. So after the class, please go to e-content and find the attachment, and please do the book exercise. And also in your fair notebook, you will write the new words and concept map. Okay. So you will write the new words and draw the concept map. Clear? So that's all for today's class, children. I hope you have understood it. If I have gone a little faster, and if you have not understood it, please do ask in the group. Okay? So that's all for today's class. Thank you and Jai Hind everyone.